Dude, you're muted. This was the worst. That was the
What?
worst.
No, I'm not.
You're muted.
Well,
now you're not. Do it again. Let's go.
Welcome to Chronic Combat Conversations, a live look at our best bets, picks, and predictions for every UFC event. Attempting a new intro tonight, it's your host, TB Scouting MMA, and
the Guru back again for UFC Vegas 83, the Forgotten Card. You've got Song Yadong taking on Chris Gutierrez in your bantamweight main event. Man, that we did a trial run and it went off perfectly fine, and then we went live and it didn't go fine, but we're rolling now. Listen, before we get into all this craziness, we have a very special guest in the building. He's an MMA odds breaker contributor. Make sure you're following him. Subscribed on his YouTube, MMA Prediction Guru. You can follow him over on Twitter, Prediction MMA. We got the Battle of the Gurus. MMA Prediction Guru. What is good, brother? Welcome to the show.
Yeah, what's up, dude? Thanks for having me on. I mean, shit, man, we got like a parallel universe going on right now, like two gurus in the same video. I mean, if you're not watching this, I don't know what you're doing, man. So definitely watch this video, and we're gonna give you guys some good content. I actually got some big underdogs I'm picking, so you'll probably disagree with me on some picks, but yeah, man, I'm excited to break it down.
Listen, somebody it's all part of the discourse.
Somebody cue up the Spider-Man meme, and then pull up MMA Guru, who's apparently bigger than Dricus Duplessis, and get us
what
all
is happening.
Oh yeah, did you see that shit? That was crazy.
That's fucking crazy.
My world is in disarray. I don't. Listen,
you know what I mean? I'm 6 feet tall, but I'm not 6'4". What the fuck?
Yeah, that
I'm gonna look tiny next to Dricus Duplessis. I was the same size as Justin Gaethje when I met him. Like, I'm not Dricus Duplessis size. Sorry.
Let alone like Anthony Joshua size, but anywho,
crazy.
I mean, he's built like a tank. Anyways,
all right, listen, we're already off and rolling.
Live every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Make sure you're drinking something or smoking something, whatever you got to do. Make sure you're getting after it. Here we are. We are live. We got the best bets, the best guests, always free picks. If you haven't already, hit the little like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on your alerts, make sure you know exactly when we're going live. We have an awesome time breaking down the fights every single week. It's not just I agree with you, and everyone shows their details. It's like we argue, we have a good time, we get into it. And if you got a good idea in the chat, make sure you let us know, because we're definitely bring it up and get into some of the comments. It means so much to have gotten to 500 subscribers. Couldn't have done any of this without all you amazing people in the community. It means so much, and we keep on rolling, baby. You can, do your thing, but we're here. We'll always be free, and can't wait to have a good time. Guru, before we get rolling, any last words to sort out here?
We keep on rolling. No, we're good. Let's get it.
Oh, I love that. All right, so we got the Kung Fu Kid. It's Song Yadong versus El Guapo, Chris Gutierrez. Man, this is going to be, I wish I could say a great matchup. It should be a great fight. We should get a very entertaining result in this fight, no matter what. I feel like Chris Gutierrez's chance is to absolutely chop the leg off of Song Yadong and hope for the best. But I got a feeling Song Yadong is going to do just about whatever he wants in this matchup, looking every bit of the minus 395, finding a finish at some point within the 5 rounds. I could spend a while breaking this one down, but man, it just doesn't feel like I need to. Quite frankly, Yadong is just so well-rounded, gave Corey Sandhagen such a good fight, and would be such a tough matchup for a lot of top contenders. His athleticism, power, and overall game are on another level. I got Yadong here. It's the easy pick. And watch me eat my own sock if I get this one wrong. So what do you got, Guru? Oh, wait, Guru scouting MMA. Sorry, hold on. I need to be specific this show. This is Guru versus Guru. All right.
It's like the episode of South Park when Kyle's cousin Kyle comes and you're like, okay, now you'll be Kyle too.
Yeah.
But, so I'll be Guru too.
Yes, I was going to say, you're definitely number 2.
Yeah, I know. Absolutely. Absolutely. This is a really, really interesting fight. Honestly, the fight that was more interesting was Song Yadong versus Peter Yan, but we're here in Vegas instead of in China, and we get Chris Gutierrez instead of Peter Yan. It is what it is, I suppose. Song Yadong has looked fairly unbelievable, right? I mean, my introduction to him was like the draw versus Cody Stamann and the Cheeto Vera fight where I lost on Cheeto. So I was like, oh, fuck this kid. But realistically, I mean, he's 27, 26 years old, top of the fucking food chain, team alpha male, extremely well-rounded, tough, gritty. I mean, really, I don't know what else you're looking for in a fighter. He can really do it all. And somebody like Chris Gutierrez is so reliant on setting his pace and controlling the distance in the cage. And like you said already, TB, the devastating calf kicks. But guess what? Song Yadong checks calf kicks. So that's going to be a problem for Chris El Guapo. And realistically, the feints as well, the multi-level feints that Song Yadong brings, that ambient movement we've been talking about. I just think Song Yadong is going to school him. And it's really not if, but when he finds a finish. I think it takes a little bit of time, but I mean, maybe Song Yadong's out here to make a statement and gets it done in like the second round, but I kind of like 3, 4, 5-ish area. I like to take a little bit longer, especially because I think Song does spend time like at distance, kind of respecting range, and he's a cerebral fighter. So that's kind of where I'm at. I don't even there's no props on FanDuel. They're like it's the forgotten card for a fucking reason. So I'm gonna pass it off to the real guru, the prediction guru over here. Let's hear what he's got to say.
Nah, yeah. I mean, you guys broke it down for me. I kind of got the same sentiment. I don't really see too many paths to victory for Chris Gutierrez. Like you said, even the leg kicks, Song Yadong does a really good job of checking calf kicks. So honestly, like I feel like Song is going to be really aggressive in this fight. Even though you said he does like to play at range and be cerebral, I think in this one, I mean, playing at range is the best chance for Chris Gutierrez to win to me. I mean, I don't think he's going to be able to take him down like Corey Sandhagen. I would be like pretty shocked. So it's going to be like, if he wins, it'll be a spinning kick to the head or some bullshit flying knee. So it's like, I think that's his best chance to win. If Song Yadong gets on the inside and uses his speed, his boxing, the feints, like you said, I think he'll be able to really give Chris Gutierrez a lot of issues. We saw Pedro Munoz drop him in their fight. And so I just feel like Song Yadong's kind of on another level here. And like you said, he actually said at the media day today he's going to call Peter Yan out after the fight. So that's the fight that I want to see. Like TV said, like, watch Alice look stupid, and Chris Gutierrez knocks him out. But I think Song Yadong is going to be the first guy to KO Chris Gutierrez. And like you said, there's no props on FanDuel, but on Bet Online, he was only like a plus 120 to get the KO, which I wish it was a little better just because Chris Gutierrez has never been knocked out. I was hoping maybe it would be better odds, but it's still not bad. I think he'll get the finish, and I don't really think he'll get a submission. So, yeah, I think Song Yadong is a pretty safe play there.
He certainly seems safe. The main event there certainly seems curtailed to him, right, TB?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let's all remember this was supposed to be taking place in Shanghai. And they were like, oh, shit, that tournament we were trying to put together, we couldn't really get any other fights on that card. So we're just going to move it back to Vegas, back to the Apex, cancel the amateur, essentially not amateur, but like, low-level regional tournament. And that's interesting.
Right? It's very interesting. So
yeah, I remember when he first came in UFC, that was like a big thing because they were saying when he first came in, he was like really young, like 20 or 21 or something. But other people were like, oh, like I've seen fights where said he was 25, So I think it's like, yeah, his age is kind of weird.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if one, there was like child labor fights going on, or two, he was like older than he said he was. Neither one of those things would surprise me in this case. But what would surprise me is Chris Gutierrez winning this fight. So Yadong is the pick. I will avoid parlaying. I'm getting plus 120 knockout on DraftKings, but Guru refuses to look at DraftKings for props. So we'll see what it ends up on FanDuel. So I'm sorry,
maybe too.
Guru number 2, I should specify. Before we move on to next fight, now that we got a little momentum rolling, want to just shout out in the chat, Mushroom, shouting out TB. He didn't even have to send 2 messages. He gets both gurus in one. Ghost, appreciate you because you make our tape study easier, putting out great threads on YouTube and Twitter.
Make sure you're following Ghost, and then you can unfollow him and then refollow him again.
Yeah, do the guru. He's like, why can't he DMs me yesterday? Why can't I send Guru a DM trying to send him the scouting notes for this week? I'm like, my dude. I'm like, Guru.
I don't know how that shit's glitchy. Yeah. I would never unfollow Ghost.
Looking for a show breaks down this week's card. Glad I found this one of my recommendeds. Glad you happen to join us, Crumbopolis. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate that. UFC China in Las Vegas. This is also there's also a few Japanese fighters. It's Pearl Harbor week. Things are getting sketchy,
Jesus
but we're gonna
Christ.
have fun anyways. I'm just stating
Oh,
factual statements.
I'm wearing my Korean zombie shirt. We're all over the place.
Wow, yeah, we're representing East. This is the Eastern versus Western, like the college course I took at UMass. Hello, do you guys post your plays? Yes, we do. If you follow us, we try to collaborate on Bet MMA for the most part, but all of our actual individual bets are most certainly placed on our individual sport books and get uploaded to Pickett. Still waiting on Bet365 to be added to them.
Pickett Sports. It's an app. I don't know if you guys have even heard of it. It's unbelievable. It tracks all your bets through all your bookies. It's pretty fantastic.
Definitely, you can call us the Neckers if that doesn't sound weird. Protect Your Neck podcast. What up, Jimmy? What up, Ryu Sos in Truesdale? Would you consider your guys' show a podcast? I don't know. What does the people think? Love the new slide. I guess that beautiful work we put in making that new like and subscribe, all that work. Loving it. The people appreciating it. Yeah, Yam Baggery potential.
Yam Baggery.
That's it. So, oh my God. All right. Last one before we move on. Is that when you fight a chicken? Okay. Yeah, so you'll have to rewind if you want to hear about child labor fights, but yeah, so appreciate all you guys and Guru Scouting using ambient movement in his breakdowns now. He's like a chameleon. He can change his game to anyone's style, but if you show him the way, he is willing to learn. So I appreciate Guru number 2 always keeping his options.
Teach a man to fish. He eats for a lifetime. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. You know, I've been trying, but he's still gibbling about every weekend about his losses. So we got Anthony Lionheart Smith at plus 190, Khalil Roundtree Roundhouse at minus 230. I got Lionheart here against all better judgment. Guru, why don't you tell the people why?
Well, I felt like I was kind of the one to be like, listen, man, I'm not sure that we can play Khalil Roundtree here at minus 200, minus 250. I just feel like when you look at Khalil Roundtree's resume and who he's actually finished, Chris Daukaus, Carl Roberson, Modestas Bukowskis, Gokhan Saki, and Paul Craig, 2017, Daniel Jolly. I mean, let's just be real. Like, you can talk all the shit you want about Anthony Smith. He really doesn't fit in that group. I'm not sure where his durability is at. Sure, he's coming in for a paycheck. You know, it's certainly a concern. I'm not as interested in Anthony Smith money line. Personally, I just felt that when you watch Khalil Roundtree fight Dustin Jacoby, Khalil actually struggles with leg kicks. Everybody, and that's the big thing over on Twitter. It seems to be like the mush of the week type thing. Like, everybody's just talking about Khalil killing Anthony Smith with leg kicks. Just seems a little too obvious. So sure, it could happen. I'm just thinking that Anthony Smith himself threw 30 leg kicks in his last fight versus Ryan Spann. Khalil Roundtree struggles with those. So if Smith starts throwing some of his leg kicks and he maybe even decides to wrestle, you're minus 250, not even minus 200. Your minus 250 Khalil Roundtree ticket is going to look very, very silly. So I'm not interested in that at all. Right? I mean, you guys tell me if I'm wrong. I mean, to me, Ryan Spann is like a more ferocious, scary finisher than Khalil Roundtree. I've just always felt like Khalil Roundtree has kind of been a relative underachiever. Kind of, you never know which version of him that you're getting. He's the type of fighter you want to bet as a dog and kind of want to stay away from as a favorite. What I do like in this fight is I like the over 1.5. I think it takes a little bit of time. Hell, even the Modestas Bukowskis finish, I guess that landed on 230 exactly. I wonder what they would call that.
That's a push, my
That's
friend.
really rare.
That is
so
a push.
Maybe it is a push, but I like over 1.5 at plus money. If Anthony Smith can survive or get a little grappling going, I think it's going to look fine. But dude, Khalil Roundtree round 1, I mean, okay. I just don't see like the value in it, so to speak. So, I mean, unless you're taking a dart throw on that specifically, I like the over, and I lean Anthony Smith.
No, yeah, I totally agree, dude. I actually, full disclosure, I'll tell a couple of bets. You know, I bet the over, and I bet the fight goes to decision too at like plus 300. You know, I think it's live. I've actually been doing that on Anthony Smith's last few fights, like, because it seems like he's the type of guy where if Khalil, like in the first round, if he cracks him really bad, he'll go into a defensive shell and he'll make it the type of fight where he could survive and last in that fight. I don't see him just getting obliterated. I mean, maybe Khalil will be like the first guy to like one shot KO him. Like, I don't know if you guys know, but has Anthony Smith ever been like knocked out, like where someone like KO'd him with a punch or something, like out cold type
At
thing?
185 against Thiago Santos before he moved up to 205. That was the last time he's been like
But that was that was
Yeah.
body kick to punches.
Yeah,
though,
he was
too.
getting like beat up bad in that fight. Like I remember,
Yeah,
like I'm talking about
it
like
took a
where
while.
it's like where Khalil's like gonna catch him in the first round with a punch and like comatose him. Like I don't think that's likely, you know.
No,
But
you make
I
a
agree.
good point.
yeah. So it's
And
like, and the thing about the leg kicks, it's like Khalil, he had that one fight with Eric Anders where it was like southpaw versus southpaw where he like destroyed his leg, but he doesn't throw leg kicks in any of his recent fights. Like when he's fighting orthodox guy, like he's not going to throw leg kicks. I don't see him throwing a lot of leg kicks against Anthony Smith, like unless he's going to switch stance, which he doesn't really tend to do. Like he really only looks for that right hook and the left cross. Like that's really what he's looking for. He's trying to kind of like sniper you from the outside, right? So Anthony Smith, in my opinion, has the cardio advantage, the wrestling advantage, grappling advantage, and it's a way different fight too from the Azamat Mirzakhanov fight. That's another thing. Like he was fighting another southpaw, a guy that's like 5'10" or something, and really fast striker. Now he's fighting 6'4" guy who's like a slower, methodical, with more well-rounded skills. So, I feel like if you're betting this fight, you got to bet on Anthony Smith 2-1, and I think the overs are a good place too. So that's kind of what I'm thinking with this fight. Even though it's like as a straight pick, it's hard for me to just say like, oh, Anthony Smith is gonna win this fight, like because he's just taking a lot of damage. But if you're looking at the line, like I think it's a no-brainer, really.
Well, he opened as a -230 Anthony Smith before the line flipped completely over to
that's crazy.
Khalil Roundtree. So there is reason to believe that he should be the rightful favorite here with the more experience. And I mean, it took until round 2 to finish Carl Robertson. And there are a couple factors where I do see Khalil Roundtree getting an early finish compared to some other recent Anthony Smith opponents. And it really comes down to how healed is that orbital bone from the Ryan Spann fight. And if he goes to like pull guard and survive on bottom like he did in the Ryan Spann fight, I think that Khalil Roundtree is going to be a bit more violent in a ground and pound situation. That's one thing that's for sure. But you have to get him there. So is he going to land those leg kicks? Is he going to fracture that leg of Anthony Smith for the third time in like his last 6 fights? But Alexander Rakic is happy to go sit in top control, whereas Magomed Ankalaev gets the TKO. Khalil Roundtree, I don't think he relies on those tools as much, like Guru pointed out in their scouting. So tells me Anthony Smith is probably the more than likely winner in this fight. And I was one of those people immediately saying, "Oh my God, round 1, Khalil, he's gonna go brutalize this guy." And listen, maybe Anthony Smith thinks it's a house intruder. Maybe he's got this. He's gonna protect the family.
He's definitely gonna protect the family. And when you actually look at Khalil's track record here, right? Getting ground and pounded and controlled by Ion Cutelaba round 1, losing to Johnny Walker round 1, losing to Tyson Pedro by rear naked choke round 1, losing on the Ultimate Fighter round 1, rear naked choke. I mean, the guy will fold under pressure. I just think he's the type of guy that just doesn't show up in these spots, and this is maybe the biggest spot for him. So, dude, I really appreciate that, Jin. I appreciate you saying that I was good on the show, and really happy to have you in the chat. Mushroom says Smith CTE has CTE at this point. That's probably true, but I still like him on the commentary booth. I think he's got sometimes he's got an interesting perspective.
I think Anthony Smith is hilarious though, where it's like every fight he always like finds a way to like he's like, I'm next for the title. Yeah. Every single time it's like that's a meme at this point. It's like on Twitter.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's like he literally like it's so he was doing it today at the media day. He's like, if I win dominantly in the first round, Alex is gonna call my name. It's like, what are you talking about, bro? Like
it was so fun. He basically said that after Alex won, right? He's like, I'm the big money fight. So funny. Yeah. Shout out Anthony. All right, we're moving on.
We're moving on. We've got Nasrat Kelvin Hakparast versus Jamie a bunch of malarkey. If you're not going to give
No,
yourself
I don't like this.
if you're not going
Boo.
to give yourself a nickname, you
Boo.
leave yourself open to TB giving you a nickname. So I'm just warning every UFC fighter out there and the guru. Listen, if you want me to think these fighters have a nickname, you got to put one in the document, and I won't put in my own. Okay.
I'm not
So
gonna make up a nickname to be.
what do you think I do? What do
I
you think I
watch you
do?
make up nickname. It's terrible.
Exactly. The people love it. I heard.
I think they love me hating on it.
It's the whole vibe. Anywho, we've got
You are the
Kelvin
opposite of whole vibe.
/TB / Nasrat Hakparast coming into this fight versus Jamie Malaki. This is actually a pretty good matchup in my mind. I feel like neither guy is really live to finish the other. Jamie Malarkey's chin might be live to finish itself, but that's
yeah.
I got there. Okay, his chin is a liability in its own right, but Nasrat's not necessarily a bigger threat than any other guy he's fought to knock him out. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Do you know what I am saying?
Do you know what I am saying?
Yes, yes, Butters. I know what you are saying.
So, basically, I'm calling a bunch of malarkey on the line here. Also, I kind of like Jamie here at +170. I feel like he's got more facets in his game to win this fight. He can change levels. He can go for top control. He can even kind of win like a kickboxing match from distance. Nasrat might have a little bit more volume on paper, but fighting Rafa Garcia on like a day's notice, fighting, like Quinones on like a couple days' notice. There's a lot of matchups where I feel like Jamie didn't quite get the same benefit of the doubt. Like what he gets Francisco Prado, who's actually like pretty dangerous. And Jamie actually, like, quote unquote, did the right thing in that fight. He went to his wrestling, he got takedowns when it was convenient. Even Michael Johnson fight, he tries for the takedowns, but he survives the striking of Michael Johnson, and that's something to be said in its own right. Like, he got clapped at one point, but he stands up and survives the moment. Devontae Smith, he survives the onslaught, puts on a round 2 knockout with a nice clean left hook. Kama Worthy, how about that one? So I would say, like, Jamie Malarkey, he's gotten a lot of opportunities where he actually had to take a short notice, or he's fighting Alexander Volkanovski or Brad Riddell in his debut, stuff like that. Like, I feel like Jamie Malarkey's kind of gotten the short end of the stick in a couple of his matchups, and it's led us to believe, like, oh, he's not that great. Like Muhammad Naimov, that's a scary dude. He knocks down, Nathaniel Wood. Jamie Malarkey had that guy in a bad place for about 7-8 minutes in that fight. I got Jamie here. +170 is a bad line. Listen, Nasrat could win. It should be closer to 50-50. Chances Jamie gets knocked out round 1 or 2, I'd put it at like 25%. So if you want to do like Nasrat round 1 or round 2 props, I just think if this goes decision, I like Jamie's chances even better. So give me his money line at +170.
Yeah, I mean, I think you pretty much hammered it home, except the line is now +160. So hopefully you've got
that's from 5:30 until now. That's crazy.
Interesting. Yeah, so the line is +160 on Jamie Malarkey. I have a bet on Jamie Malarkey at +175. I hate to be that kind of douchebag, but I bet it, I guess, 2 days ago. Basically, it's a coin flip fight to me in the fact that both guys like to strike at volume. They're not necessarily high level finishers at the UFC level. You've watched Nasrat Hakparast. I believe he's got 6 decision wins and 1 knockout in his 7 UFC fights. So again, that's not that's not a lot. What else? Yeah, I mean, both guys basically underachieved in their last fight, and they're gonna have an underachieve off here to see who's actually a better fighter, which is fair. I think it's a mid versus mid matchup, right? I mean, you watch Jamie Malarkey get kind of stumbled and rocked by John McDessie, going to a unanimous decision win there, though. But looked fine. Uses his wrestling a little bit, and then actually no, he didn't use his wrestling at all. That was like the weird thing. That was real. I mean, I guess he didn't like TB had texted me about. He said that I guess he felt maybe he didn't feel in danger, so he didn't use his wrestling at all. I'm hoping he feels a little bit more danger here and decides to wrestle. And on the other side, you've got Nasrat Hakparast, who
to the danger zone.
Who looks just like TB if TB was German, and
Landing and Halal at the same time.
Literally. Landon Quinones, I mean, a tough kid, I guess, right? Hadn't been finished before, only one loss, and gets finished. Oh, it doesn't get finished, obviously, because like I'm saying, it's a young kid, had never been finished, so tough to finish him. But Nazareth kind of, I don't know, gets tagged in that fight. You see, he's got bad swelling on his eyes, like not good. So if you're gonna go tit for tat with Jamie Malarkey, I'm gonna take the plus 170 guy in a coin flip decision anyway, anytime. So 2 inches of reach, 2 inches of height. Let's go, Jamie. What do you think,
Yeah.
Guru?
I don't know, man. I mean, I used to be a fan of Jamie Malarkey's style, and I liked how he used to fight. But I feel like recently, man, he's been really gun shy in the cage, man. Like if you look at he gets dropped in every fight too. He gets dropped in every fight. Like literally, he got knocked out by Naimov. He got dropped by McDessie or wobbled really bad. He got dropped by Michael Johnson. So I don't know. I just don't trust the guy's chin. I feel like he's one of these guys that he uses the jab really well, and he does a good job kind of like controlling the distance and then landing those straight shots. But I feel like he runs into punches, and Nasrat isn't the type of guy that's going to get tired, I don't think, if Malarkey's moving a lot. And I just think his defense is not going to hold up. I think Nasrat's going to have the power advantage and land the bigger shots. And unless Jamie Malarkey can take him down or mix it up, I think Nasrat will just be more effective striking. So I kind of am leaning towards Nasrat to get the win here. I just don't trust Malarkey anymore after his last few performances. Like, I actually thought that he lost that fight, his last fight, personally. So I don't know about you guys, but I don't know. I feel like Malarkey's not looking the best right now, and I know Nasrat isn't either. But I just have a little bit more faith in Nasrat winning.
Yeah, that's fair, and I understand it. He might end up being like my pick. Yeah, you there? Am I there? Are we anywhere? Cool. All right. Maybe we got a little laggy on the stream, but we're all right. We got yeah, I understand what you're saying, and I think Malarkey, like, there are reasons why he should be an underdog in this spot, but I'm gonna take my chances. It might be a little greasy. There's a few underdogs.
I think to Guru's point, there has been some level of sketchiness to Jamie Malarkey, right? Yeah, I mean, the way that he's reacting to punches, I think that's a really good highlight. Jamie Malarkey does take a ton of damage, gets slept bad versus Naimov. And when you look at the other side, Nasrat's losses, getting knocked out by Drew Dober, I guess we can excuse that one. Drew Dober's been on a crazy tear the last couple of years. And then losing decisions to Dan Hooker and Bobby Green, like, these guys are pretty top notch. These guys are top 20 fighters. So.
I think that's what Malarkey's going to try to do, though, kind of like what Bobby Green did. I think that's going to be his kind of game plan. But it's just, is he going to be as fast and good with his defense and throw as many punches? I don't know. So that's kind of, it's a close fight, though. Like, I do think if you got plus 175, it's not like a bad bet or anything. I'm just leaning towards Nasrat.
Listen, what is the line on Fight Goes to Disappointment, Mushroom? Because if that's plus money, I'm absolutely in, because I'm almost always disappointed, and whoever loses this one gets cut. I honestly don't think so. I don't think so. Jamie Malarkey's won 3 of his last 4. And Nasrat's won 2 of his last 4, so 2 in a row. So I think I don't think so.
Zane, I appreciate your zealousness, but we are not going to parlay all the underdogs. Appreciate you. Maybe gonna have to call you guys out. We got more people watching than have thrown likes, I think, on the video. So make sure you do the right thing. We're getting into Tim Funky Elliott versus Sumu Derji, the Tibetan Eagle. Short notice, Tim Funky Elliott.
Yeah, 135 too.
And 135.
And at 135, up at bantamweight. I actually got it right on the slide. Would you?
That's amazing. That's incredible.
Actually, the most incredible part is that Guru got it wrong in our document of profiles, but I got it right on the slideshow.
I fixed it.
I was saying that's what made it more amazing.
Actually,
adjust your glasses aggressively.
if I am gonna defend myself, I did the document before they hit it even a net. Like as soon as the fight dropped, I literally did the document, and then later they changed it to.
All right.
By the way, it's catch weight. So
Yeah. So no, it's not because it's actual contracted 135.
you know what I mean. Whatever. Oh, by the
No,
way,
so
it's at
it's not
135.
catch.
You're right. I'm sorry. All right. You know
Jesus.
what?
Guru
know
number
what?
2 is killing the vibes right
You know
now.
what? You know what?
So good. We finally got rid of the troublesome Guru, but nah, he'll be. He's
Shit,
just
man. We just regained a new show, huh?
That's it. Yeah, I'm recycling gurus.
Sounds like an upgrade to me. That's fucked up.
Sheesh. All right, so listen, out there on the Twitterverse, we asked the people, what was the TB nickname? Was it Tim Funky Elliott, or was it another one to be determined later? And it was Tim Elliott. Okay, that was people were having trouble. It was like 50-50 out there.
Why isn't it funky? Like
he doesn't have anything listed on UFC, so
it's
I put
like
it's always been
it's
funky.
awkward. I think
it's awkward, right?
Awkward.
Yeah,
it's awkward.
So I put funky, and you just rolled with it. You had no idea. That's how good.
No,
it was. You just hate
I'm
yourself.
mistaken.
You fell with it. All right, so let's actually leave it to Ghost here. This is great. Has a cool striking style. The Conor McGregor thing fades back. There was open shot counter, rear hand, cool elbows as well. Yeah, I kind of think Sumu Derji. I like this pricing a little bit better in the other matchup that he had before the short notice switcheroo, but. What's Tim Elliott doing with the nose guard on in the press conference here? Guru number one. Guru number one. How about you go ahead? What do you got in this fight here?
Yeah, I mean, to me, this is a hard fight to call. Obviously, I think if Tim Elliott had a full camp and he's coming in, and especially if it was at 135, I think he would get the win. But like you said, I don't know what he's doing with the nose guard thing, and I don't know exactly how in shape he is. Like, obviously, he wanted this fight to be at 135, so he's not able to make 125. But you look at Sumadarji, like he has really good southpaw striking, like Ghost was saying, and he's dangerous on the feet. Like he's long, and he's going to be trying to kind of snipe you. He has 11 knockout wins, which at 125 is pretty crazy. But the one thing we don't really know, I mean, he has been at ATT training with Makayev and a lot of good wrestlers and stuff, but he's never really fought like a really high level wrestler at all. Like, and we saw him fight Matt Schnell or guys that are lower level wrestlers than Tim Elliott by far. Maybe you could say he's a better grappler, but I don't think so either. But, I just feel like Tim Elliott, if you can get him to the ground, you could probably dominate him and submit him, and maybe you could wear him out just because he's going to probably weigh more. But Sumidarji's live to get the knockout, and he is kind of scrambly on the ground. Like we've seen him do a little bit on the ground, but I just feel like Elliott, the veteran, I got to pick him as a straight pick. So, but I think Sumidarji is dangerous. He could get the finish in the fight.
Yeah, see, but like that's the thing. It's like, who has ever knocked out Tim Elliott? He's got one listed, but it must have been in his second or third ever pro fight because it's doesn't really happen.
He usually always gets subbed, yeah.
Right. So then that's not really an area of Sumidarji's game. And then you look at Sumidarji's game and he's got 5 submission losses. Problematic. And then we know that he doesn't have the cardio. I actually really wish that Tim was able to make this fight at flyweight because let's be real, who does a bantamweight fight actually help more? Definitely Sumidarji. So
you think he'll be bigger in the cage?
I just think that it helps him. He's just lanky, and it like cutting all that weight for him is so tough. I mean, I literally see. I mean, if you follow Tim Elliott, he posts when he's cutting the flyweight, like for his last fight, what he was eating for the Mokaev fight. I mean, dude is eating like I don't like a fucking like an anorexic. I don't like fucking crazy, like nothing. I mean, he must be eating 300 calories. I mean, he's eating nothing. So, yeah, I mean, it's understandable why he can't make the weight on short notice. I just, I lean like over 1.5 if maybe we can get a good line on that. We barely even have money lines, so I'm not exactly expecting props yet. But I think if there's a sub, I think it takes Tim Elliott a little bit of time to get there, maybe like a round 2 or round 3 sub. And yeah, that's it. I don't really love this fight. I don't want like a heavy amount of exposure from this fight, but I think there's a couple props to make money on.
So let me tell you the conspiracy theory I have for this matchup, in the sense that if Tim Elliott isn't submitting Sumuderji, then he's gassing out and getting finished at some point. Like, I don't think Tim Elliott's winning a 15-minute decision on short notice.
Why can't he? Why? I mean, but Sumidarji's like, I mean, his wrestling isn't really that great either.
I don't
Like,
know. It looked like until he started, like, and you have to remember, he tried absolutely murdering Matt Schnell in that cage and
Bro,
came
but
extremely close
that's
and
such a
gassed
bad
out.
look. That's still a bad look.
Yes,
It's a
I
bad look.
get it. That
It's a
was
bad
one
look.
of the craziest fights,
Unbelievable. But
Tim Elliott,
Matt
I
Schnell, while
think
known for his toughness, is not known for his durability. So the fact that you couldn't put him away was really bad.
right, but Tim Elliott's also not known for his cardio. He's up 2-0 on Muhammad Makayev and getting finished in round 3. I don't see Tim Elliott winning a decision. I think he slows down, gets hurt. Muderji, what he's been has he been training at ATT? Jimmy Kudo, help me out here. You're saying good wall ball. What's going on?
Submit Sumidarji?
Yeah, he's been there for a while at ATT. Like he was at ATT for the Matt Schnell fight.
So okay, and to my point, his other 4 submission losses come a pretty long time ago, right? And this last submission loss came at the end of a war where, like, the canvas has never been so bloody in a fight that I've watched live. Like, that was one of the most insane fights. And then the triangle choke that gets put in, I literally thought Sumuderji might be dead after Matt Schnell
that was
let go of his legs.
awesome.
That was scary. Like Muderji coming back, taking the time off, and getting. I would say probably. I mean, is this a downgraded opponent on short notice?
Yeah, Alan Nascimento would be Tim Elliott.
I like Sumuderji here. It might be crazy, but I think I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I wish the line was better, man. Like plus 124, that line kind of sucks, to me. Like, but at least it's dog money if you like him either way. But it's just like you'd think, like if Tim Elliott had a full camp, what do you think the line would be? Like Elliott minus 250 or something? Like if it was like coming in without the no camp, I don't know, but
that's fair.
I would definitely be playing Sumidarji.
I would say Sue knows what to do with his 6-inch reach advantage, and Elliott's quote unquote like awkward style shouldn't really pose him problems on the feet.
I still think I like the over 1.5. I still think it takes some time.
That's solid,
especially with them not cutting
line yet. No line yet.
Yeah, hopefully that's like plus money or something. That would be a good bet, actually.
Yeah, that's kind of where I like that.
Listen, Zane, I think so. I'm not going to bet every underdog, but I probably have bet half the underdog so far. So do what you will with that information.
See, what did I tweet? This is exactly what I said. After a freaking card like last week, all of a sudden, everybody starts smelling the dogs, and then this one, like, it'll be all favorites, and then we'll be like, what the fuck? And then we'll go into like a pay-per-view next week.
What's there been? 4 fights?
Yeah.
That we broke down so far. Yeah. So we're still early. We're still early. Just wait for the rest of my picks.
Okay.
Did we get to everyone?
You love the dog here.
Did we get to everyone here? We did, right? We're good.
Yeah.
I think so.
All right, cool. Appreciate you guys. All right. We got the Iron Turtle. I wish I could get up and dance like him right now. Jung-Young Park versus Sergipano, Andre Muniz, one of the most fraudulent mofos in the world. No, but
easy.
All right, I'm sorry. I'm getting a little crazy out here fast, but I think one of the things that I've seen about Andre Muniz is that if he doesn't have his way early, and even if he does have his way early, unless the opponent decides to give up to the pressure and mentally quit, like he's going to slow down, and he's going to slow down heavily. Uriah Hall just decided he didn't want to be there and was okay. But even he has some moments, right? And like a moment or two, I should say. But like Eric Anders, that fight didn't even get started. He submitted right away. Jacare just absolutely washed beyond absolute belief. Sorry, Guru. Bartosz Fabinski puts his head into a guillotine every single time he fights, multiple times a fight until he's guillotined. And Antonio Hoyo, he's a good jiu-jitsu practitioner. So Muniz was able to outlast the even shittier cardio guy in Antonio Arroyo. Paul Craig loses by round 2 knockout, just absolutely looks like he doesn't want to be there against Paul Craig. Not able to have success from distance, really just like relying on these awkward body kicks and throwing combos, but never really landing with significance on someone just waiting to be hit. Then you go back and you look at the Brendan Allen fight, and he has a little bit of success on the feet, pitter patter at distance, single strikes at a time, no volume, no pace, no pressure, and eventually Brendan Allen melts the guy. Jun Park, as long as he doesn't get submitted in round 1, is going to put the pace and pressure on. I'm taking Jun Park. If the money line keeps crashing even further than -175, you'll see me with a straight money line play. Otherwise, I'll have Jun Park round 2, Jun Park round 3, and I'll consider what else I need to do to make it happen. But Muniz is just going to find a way to get out of this fight. And Guru, can we talk about? I was asking you, like, who else subbed Jun Park besides
Oh my
Fluffy
God.
Hernandez?
Yeah.
Guru, can you tell me? Guru number
The-
2.
So that's Guru number 2. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So that's me. So the only other person that didn't blah blah blah, other than Fluffy Hernandez, the person that subbed Jung Park was Shavkat Rakhmonov, if you've ever heard of him, in 2016 on the regional scene. So it's
Guru's like, I swear, it's bad. It's bad. It's Shavkat. Okay.
yeah. It's just like I gave him a knock for having low fight IQ versus Gregory Rodriguez because he could have won that fight, but he decided to stand and bang and like just went to sleep. Obviously, that's not really a problem here, and I think the submission thing is kind of a bit of a farce, right? When you're like, oh, 2 submissions, this guy's gonna get him. Oh, he's got some wrestling. Maybe he'll stay on top because Jung Park doesn't have good takedown defense. I'm like, that's kind of true, maybe, but it's like Andre Muniz just kind of wants to grab your back, or I mean, he's literally had 3 arm bars in a row. So you're not gonna arm bar Jung Park. You have to take his back. He's a turtle. He can't roll out of his shell. So that's how that works. But I don't. I mean, I guess really, if you're taking Muniz, you take it like we've talked about similarly for other fights. I think you take Andre Muniz round 1 submission with a little dart throw, a little sprinkle, a little couch cushion on that. And then otherwise, you're taking Jung Park 2-3 decision, basically, because I think he's live anywhere else. So, hey, maybe if he spends round 1 on bottom and doesn't get sub, maybe you can get in on a live number. I am wondering why the number would be going the other way as well. Wasn't he like over -200?
Yeah,
TB?
I think so. But
Yeah.
I agree. I think Park should win. I mean, like you said, unless Muniz can get him down and submit him in the first round. And another thing, it's like when he got those arm bars, that was like right when he got in the UFC. So now people know kind of what to defend. They've seen it a few times. So it's going to be harder and harder for him to do that. The only thing about Park is he can be reckless, but I just don't think Muniz has the striking to really threaten him that much. And like you said, he seems like he's a little bit of he's kind of a quitter. It's like when adversity doesn't kind of, or adversity goes his way, he kind of quits, So I think Park could even take him down too. I mean, we've seen how that's happened in his last couple fights, and I know he's facing more grappling based guys, but I don't think his wrestling is that good. I think Park has pretty good body lock takedowns and stuff like that. So I think Park could even take him down if you start to see him get tired and finish him on the ground. So I don't even know what the odds would be like on him to win via submission, but if it's like crazy odds, I think it's an okay bet, honestly.
Yeah, Muniz has been knocked out so many times, and
Yeah.
wait, were you saying Park to lose by submission?
No,
I'm
Muniz.
sorry. Yeah. So I get it. I just think Park inside the distance would be my play.
Yeah.
I like your thought though.
I mean, because he could
Park,
really get it either any as soon as Muniz decides to quit, it's just like blah blah blah. Paul Craig TKO'd him, right? So it's like it could happen anyway for anybody.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but 5 knockout losses on your record. This is the fight where people are like, "Ooh, I'm gonna get cute and try to get this dog back." And I think this one's a little bit too much. I don't see enough paths to victory, and I think Jung Park is just too good and has just too much cardio. Hey, look, there's our new graphic. There it was. Shout out, what was it, Teep Kick and MMA in the chat. Appreciate you guys. So if you haven't already and you're a new follower or watcher of the show right now, join us. It doesn't cost you anything. What would cost you something is if you wanted to be one of our, grandma's couch cushioneers, donating to grandma's couch cushions if you want to be a quote unquote member of the channel.
Is that what you named it? I thought it was grandma's couch cushioners. Cushioneers?
I don't know, whatever it is.
I like cushioner.
What do you guys like? I think that's what it was.
Cushioneers?
TB can do impressions. If you order them, I can't just pull them out of my ass specifically. Maybe I could do some. hit the like yesterday. Mushrooms are real one.
Tizzy does an impression of somebody trying to pretend like they have tea, but they have no tea.
I'm like Frank Thomas. I'm like Frank Thomas.
Eugenics. Every 6 seconds.
Yeah, but no, seriously, like super chats exist and all. You guys, like, I think Daz was our first one ever, so shout out Daz. But really, all we ask you guys to do is come here, throw a like on the channel, and subscribe. That's all it really costs to be
and
a part
share
of the party.
To your
and
friends.
share it. Just not to your grandma. She's gonna find out we're stealing her couch cushion.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah, it's fucked up, man. You wouldn't want to do that. All right, we got the Assassin, Song Kanan. We got a tale of two songs on this card.
Oh, he's ass all
versus,
right.
versus Kevin Erjuse. Damn, this is a tough one.
No, you can't have Charles Jourdain. We have Erjuse at home.
Certainly a downgrade from the Charles version of Air. That's pretty good. Yeah, the version at home just I don't know, man. It's tough. Like Song Kanan, he was supposed to be in China for this one. Now he's got to come across the country and be in Vegas. But Jusei is also city kickboxing, so he's got to fly all the way across the world, too. So Song Kanan, what I did like about him in his last fight, I liked his cardio. I liked his ability to kind of maintain a constant pace and pressure throughout the second and third round. But what I didn't like was like, what were you doing round one? Like laughing at yourself and just kind of like, like you threw like 12 strikes. I didn't love that part. But he turned it up against Rolando Bedoya, who proves to have a good chin, and he even rocks him a few times. So I was like, damn, like Song Kanan, he's only 33. I don't know why. I thought the dude was like 37 years old when he got knocked out by Max Griffin. That really shaped my like impressions of him. And then, I think he might have a little bit of who were we talking about the other week, Guru? Kyle Nelson, and how like Nicholas Dalby is just like Kyle Nelson.
Yeah.
Like, what if Song Kanan is like just enough improved in the wrestling, has just enough power and technical striking to like be a pain in the ass for a guy in Kevin Jusei that proved that like Kiefer Crosby can land a body head combo on him, or even like a 1-2 without any other real setup. Like Jusei is getting landed on.
I'm gonna be honest. I feel like they're the same fucking fighter. They stand up straight. They're plotting. They're flat-footed, and they want to strike with each other. Like, it's not very much wrestling or grappling between them, and that's kind of both of their game plans. And I kind of just lean Song Kanan because I think he's the better striker of the two. I think that the fight's probably going to go the distance, honestly. And I just think that I actually kind of like that at -105. That's kind of interesting on the over. And
that is.
Yeah, I took a dog shot here on Song Kanan. I just feel like Kevin Jusei was this exact line versus Kiefer Crosby, who was a boxer without any grappling, any MMA skills at all. So I don't understand why he's the favorite. Another fight I feel like is probably closer to a coin flip. So give me a dog shot.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's like a. Go ahead, my bad, bro.
No. It's actually TB's bad because I was saying, what do you think, Guru?
No, this is totally my bad. I just have to interrupt in case it adds to anything Guru number one wants to say. I didn't take this into account. Did you take the city kickboxing versus Song Kanan into account at all? Like the history of that gym versus Song?
No. What is the history of that gym?
Yeah. So Brad Riddell, Israel Adesanya, both knocked him out 2015 and 2017.
Oh my God, he fought Israel Adesanya. What the fuck? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So both of those coming on the regional scene, those losses, I think. So the question is now, Song, like, when Carlos Ulberg made his debut, they were talking about how like city kickboxing got to have like preference on who his opponent would be, and they like chose Kennedy and Zechiku, and it like completely backfires in their face. What if the same thing is happening here with Song Kanan, and they're like, oh, two of our guys have already beat him. We have the book on Song Kanan, and he's coming in with like improved wrestling, so the judo won't really work for Jusei, and then like his striking is like solid. So okay, Guru number one. I'm sorry to steal some thunder, but just wanted to point out a couple of things.
That's actually good. That's actually good. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it's a dog or pass too. To me, I'm just passing. But I feel like, you look at Song Kanon's last 2 fights since he came back, he was like, what, like plus 500 against Ian Gary. He dropped him, and then he won as like a plus 260. So he's been doing good as the underdog recently, and it's like Kevin Jusay, like you said, he's a plotty guy, comes forward. In his last fight, I will say, like, it looked like his jab was better than it's ever been, but I also think that has a little bit to do with Kiefer Crosby. But man, I don't know. It's like Sonkanon could knock him out, but I think if it goes longer, I think Kevin Jusay could maybe use his judo, get him tired, and win a decision. So I think it's dog or pass, but it could go either way.
Can we just talk about something really quick? I'm not talking about genocide or getting rid of a race of people, Guru. We're definitely talking about eugenics total T.
Obviously, I guess with the state of everything, that's where like my Freudian slip came in. Eugenics, that's pretty funny.
Eugenics. Sorry.
Anyway.
My bad.
Eugenics is that book that L. Ron Hubbard wrote.
No.
This show's off the rails. I love it.
So sorry, Guru number one. This is how things go.
If he said he cut kickboxing there, have a rough patch now, and Song Kanon rocked Ian, and this guy's not Ian. I think that's fair. I mean, he also got knocked out by Max Griffin. That was maybe the worst fight I've ever seen.
Yeah,
bad. But Max Griffin, that's all he's got. He's like, I'm gonna hit you really hard, and if you can't get knocked out, then all right, I guess I'm beat.
I feel like he served a couple years of like mandatory service in the army. Is that true? He didn't fight from 21 to 23, and when he came back, like that was after the Max Griffin fight. Like, am I thinking about someone else that fought recently?
Yeah, I mean he's Chinese. Probably. I don't know that they have.
Fuck, I thought
mandatory.
No,
that's
I was
racist.
thinking about it. I was thinking about a different Korean fighter.
Choi?
No, there was someone else even more recent.
But that's the thing. Song Kanon's not Korean.
No, you're right. I was wrong. I was just wrong.
That's racist.
I saw that there was a 2-year layoff. I was trying to piece it together. I would like to apologize. I don't know. Maybe China.
You don't need to apologize to me. You need to apologize to the entire Asian culture.
Never. Never. All right. So before Guru number one gets swept up in any controversy.
Yeah, Guru number one is a quarter Chinese. You better apologize to him right now.
Oh my god. All right. So wait, question, the worst fight you've ever seen. I disagree. That would be as far as I know.
No, I meant for Song. Like it was a terrible performance. No, that was absolutely the worst fight anybody could ever watch.
Right. So you've got 2 songs and you've got 2 parks on this card.
Yeah, it was going to be in China for sure.
But you've only got 1 Turkish delight.
Thank God. We can't handle 2.
Yeah. So that was the second nickname I asked. Like, which one's the TB nickname? Was it Tim Funky Elliott or was it Shannon the Turkish Delight Ross?
Well, neither of these are made up, thank God, because they're actually real.
Exactly. So that's the answer is like, who the fuck chose the Turkish Delight to be his nickname?
Somebody from Australia, which is a weird choice.
I really don't understand. If anyone has any type of insight,
maybe he has Turkish like ancestry.
Yeah, but what's the delight about? Like, what's so delightful? He's been knocked out 4 times.
I guess it's delightful if you've been betting against him.
Yeah, Jesus Aguilar, 0 career knockouts.
That bummed me out.
1 punch, yama jamma, right to the mouth.
You went right to sleep, bro. 15 seconds.
Okay, I'm sorry. Now you're fighting Peace of Mind Park. Get the fuck out of here. You're going for a walk in the park. Hyung Sung Park, by any which way he wants, it's probably going to be by knockout, because if you gave me 1 free shot, Shannon Ross probably beats me in a fair fight. But if you gave me 1 free shot at Shannon Ross's chin,
you would definitely miss. So listen, I gotta be honest. You can't play Hyuk Sung Park here. You really can't. And I'm not sure where I'm gonna go as far as TV was saying with any way that he wants. Hyuk Sung Park is somebody that on the regional scene showed that he's kind of needed to get it done quickly. and then he fought Sunguk Choi, who I took at like plus 275 or something. And I don't know how you guys felt. Maybe you rewatched it, and maybe you guys out there in the chat, whatever, out here listening. How did you guys feel about that fight? I thought rounds 1 and 2 were damn close and way closer than A, I remember it, and B, than I remember the live betting line being, especially with the commentators, kind of saying that Sunguk Choi had been performing well, which I kind of had agreed with. He makes a mistake, gives up his back on the ground, and he's tired, gets submitted. It was a nice performance in that respect from Hyuk Sung Park, but he gets rocked twice in that fight. He got rocked on the road to the UFC. Shannon Ross is obviously terrible, but at the same time, like I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just wrong, and that's okay too. But I did pick him versus Vinicius Salvador. He had a ruptured appendix, so they decided to give him the contract anyway because the doctors missed it, I assume. Klidson Rodriguez losing there. I mean, I can excuse that kind of. I mean, he got lit the fuck up, but I mean, that dude's a beast, and I can't excuse the Jesus Aguilar one. I don't know how to explain losing to the Hobbit. I don't get that one, but I mean, he went to sleep, so I'm really really concerned about his chin. He probably gets knocked out round 1. I think that's how you take Park round 1, but I mean, you probably feel the same way, right, Guru number 1?
No, I don't know, man. Maybe, like I said, I have some crazy picks. Maybe I'll look retarded on this one, but I think Shannon Ross is better than Hyung Sung Park, man. Like I think
I was
I
kind of
think Park
thinking.
sucks. I honestly think Park sucks.
I do too. That's what I'm saying. I picked up Choi.
Yeah, I was watching his fights. Like the guy got dropped his last 2 fights, right? Shannon Ross to me has way better striking. Like way better striking. Park just plods in. He has an okay jab, but like he needs you to stand right in front of him for him to land. He throws no volume. His chin is like right in the air. He gets clipped every fight and hurt. Shannon Ross, I mean, that Vinicius Salvador fight that you're talking about, he wobbled him, he rocked him multiple times, and I think Salvador is better than Hyung Sung Park is. Like, so I honestly think Shannon Ross could turn the tables, get a first round knockout, look like Hercules for one night. And I think, the wrestling, I think Shannon Ross has better wrestling too. So it's like Park is a back taker, like you said. He has good grappling, and if you can get it to the ground, take Shannon Ross's back, he could submit him. But I think if it's standing, it's like a 50-50 fight because Ross is way better, but he has no chin. So he could get touched once and go to sleep. But if he doesn't, I think he'll be able to win minutes and get the knockout too. So I'm going to go with Shannon Ross on this fight.
It's like the one last time. I think you're onto so much there, Guru. I'm just there. You have to be so concerned about his durability.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Klidson Rodriguez rocks him to the body and then the head. Jesus Aguilar, I mean, literally, he's asleep. He's standing over him AI style and like doesn't hit him. Bro, it's bad. So
that was back in July. Why is he back so soon? That was in July.
It's only 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah,
that's I'm sorry. Plus, I get it though. I get it.
I honestly get it. Plus 440 is so tasty. A little couch cushion.
Yeah, how is Park minus 600? Like,
it's not worth it.
Just be a Shannon Ross. Like, I get it's only a fade on Shannon Ross. Like, he shouldn't be minus 600 against anybody. Like,
okay.
Like,
this reminds me of Zach Reese versus Cody Brundage. Under 1.5. Shut up. Under 1.5 at minus 175 is the easiest bet ever. Shannon Ross is either going to die within the first round or he'll put it on Park and find his own finish. I like this fight to end early, under 1.5. Why mess around when someone ends up getting slammed on their head? You know what I mean?
I just don't think you bet.
I'm not betting this fight. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, see, you pissed Guru off. He left.
Yeah. Okay, you brought him back. Don't worry. You talk sense into it. All right, let's move on.
I just feel like I'm gonna kick myself if I place a bet on Shannon Ross and then he's gonna be on the roster watch on Tuesday.
I'm not spending any money on that fight. Sounds good.
That's what we're gonna learn.
All right, so because
I broke down this fight last week and I said didn't like it then and I wasn't betting money on it then. And guess what? Just because you change the weight class and move it a week later doesn't mean I'm gonna bet on it now. So TB, what do you like?
I was going to say the same thing. I've got nothing to add for this fight, which I'm also not going to bet on. But what I would say is very important for the people is just make sure you're going ahead, checking out our old content if you want to break down on this fight. I refuse to do it again. The Milkman should deliver, but yeah, it ultimately Coast is the pick, but like, what are you doing? So this is my time to be like, hey guys, listen, I've come to a come to Jesus moment, a come to Moses moment, a revelation, whatever you want to call it. Last weekend didn't go so hot.
Terrible.
You have all these winnings, and you think you're hot shit, and you
Let's
start
be honest.
doing
Let's
stuff.
just be honest.
Let's
We
be real.
got beat up worse than Jamal Hill's brother. Like, it was bad.
It was bad. So at the moral of the story here is like, you can either continue doing the same thing over and over, like breaking down Steve Garcia versus Mel Costa for 2 weeks in a row, or you can go ahead and develop a system. So I don't know whatever the fuck Guru number 2 is going to do, but TB's plan, just like God's plan, we're going to take
What
10
the hell?
units, and now we're going to take 10 units a week, spread it around on money lines, props, or reserve for live betting, and then we'll
How much?
take one extra unit, and that is reserved for grandma's couch cushion sprinkles on round props, specific methods, stuff like that. So I have an 11 unit budget per week. Keep in mind, I've used like 20 something units weekly on Bet MMA and my actual betting. So this is a
How many
reduction
units a
and
week
a
do you spend
scaling.
on Nugenics?
At least 5,000 units.
That's exactly.
So
I agree. Do we know? Can I ask a real question though in the breakdown
what?
for this fight instead of TB's therapy? What? Who needed lightweight? Who had a problem last week? Do we know?
Oh,
Did
Steve
they just?
Garcia. Steve
It was
Garcia pulled
Garcia for
out
sure,
on
right?
weigh-in day. Yeah,
Okay.
so it's Milkman delivering to your mother,
Yeah.
and you ask like, why do I have a new younger brother that looks totally different? The Milkman delivered. What do you got here, Guru number
That
1?
wasn't funny either.
Yeah, I mean, I'll stand in solidarity with you guys. Fuck this fight. So,
Amen. Moving on.
Excellent.
I love it. All right, we've got Luana Banana Santos versus Stephanie Dr. Eggman Egger. Sonic the Hedgehog's mortal enemy versus one of the hottest new bananas in the game, Luana Santos.
Yeah, she's bad, bro.
All right, so listen, we got a WMMA fight where you have someone 12 years younger. Obviously, the UFC has got like some promotional ideas telling her, hey, listen, if you take this fight short notice, you fight up at bantamweight, there's a little less resistance potentially in the division. See how you like it. She's the same size as Stephanie Egger, who's like a quote unquote career bantamweight, but she's like the old school where probably, I can't imagine her cutting that much weight. Like, look at her frame. It's like, are her elbows larger than her biceps? It's kind of weird.
Her first 3 pro MMA fights were bantamweight.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't love it. Who? Luana Santos, you're saying?
Yes.
Oh, I like that. So Luana Santos, I think she's no. Well, so I was ragging on Egger. So I'm saying Luana Santos is going to come out here. She should be. Maybe she doesn't have the quote unquote same level of like experience that Egger has, but I don't really value a lot of the experience that Egger has had in the UFC. Quite frankly, the way that she kind of just gives up there to Irene.
I'm sorry, Mushroom. I'm laughing at you.
Oh fuck. So, oh my god. So I don't know, man. You got to find somewhere else to source your round props at. Maybe your own money. You never know.
Yeah,
but
I
got Luana here.
I don't love this fight from a gambling perspective either. And guess what? If you couldn't tell, I don't really love this card from a gambling perspective. But Luana Santos should be the better fighter here, and I'll tell you why. I mean, Egger's even giving up takedowns to Alian Perez when Perez was coming up a weight class on her debut. So her takedown defense isn't excellent. She's offensively grappling reliant herself, and all over Luana Santos's tape, you watch her take the momentum of her opponent's offensive takedowns and use them as against them in a hip toss. So, I mean, it's going to be judo versus judo here, which is very interesting. Judo black belt versus judo black belt. I do lean Santos. I actually think her striking is better, even though her striking is clearly green and wild. I still think it's better than Egger's, but minus 170 on relatively low level women's MMA, I'm not doing it. So, yeah, pick a Santos. What do you think, Guru?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think this fight's kind of a pass. Like both these girls are judo girls. Think that'll kind of nullify each other, and I think Santos is just the better striker. She has the youth. So I feel like Egger, like sometimes she can lose composure striking. So I just think Santos would be a little bit better, but don't have a lot of interest in this fight really at all.
Nice, nice. Krumbopolis Rosen, how much is a unit for you, TB? So here's
One
how
pill
it
of
works.
eugenics.
A unit system should be like 100 units is your quote unquote budget. So I operate on like a $20 unit scale. That's not that I have $2,000 in my betting accounts. Quite frankly, I've never even gotten close to like 2,000 in total deficits in my career. I kind of hover around the middle. I have money in my accounts. I bet a bunch. I go up. I bet bigger units. I go down. I shorten my units up. I go up. It's like, so I've never really had to deposit too heavily and get towards that $2,000 quote unquote budget that I
I don't
have.
think that's what he's
But
asking.
it's a
Nobody
$20
asked that.
unit scale. It's a $20 unit scale. And when you have a unit size scale, it should be 100 units as your budget. So I was explaining.
Yeah, listen, respect to anybody that's got, big baller money out there. You're betting, $100 units, $250 bets. Like, good for you, man. I stick between 10, 20. I mean, $50 is going to be like, big one. And,
Yeah.
100, you'd be huge, huge, huge.
Yeah,
And
that's a 5-unit max,
Yeah, exactly. So that's basically where we stay.
Yeah.
Just try to stay in that ballpark.
Yeah, like
We
let's
don't,
be
but
real about our
we don't
situation.
unit shame around here for anybody, any size,
No.
anything. I honestly started laughably, whatever it was, 4 or 5 years ago, literally betting like 25, 50 cents in a dollar, like $2, $5. I swear. And it was really small, but it's wherever you start.
He
It's
was
whatever you feel
still
comfortable.
just as miserable when he lost a
Exactly.
50-cent bet as when he
Nobody likes
loses
to
a
lose.
$50 bet.
Nobody
He
likes
hates
to
it.
lose.
Insufferable when he loses. All right, so our next fight
Oh,
here.
see, don't you fucking put that nickname there. Don't you fucking do that to my boy. Don't you do that. That's a terrible nickname. What
Which
are you
one?
doing?
Which one?
What do you mean, which one? The one you fucking made? But first off, I think you probably made them both.
No,
up.
I didn't make up both of them, actually.
Well, then it's the one that you made up. It's my boy Tatsuro Taira.
No. So actually, I went searching through the internet because I thought it was bullshit that he didn't have a nickname. And Tatsuro Supernova Taira shows up in his pre-UFC like walkouts. So I took that. Does that make sense to you?
All right, fine. If he
so
likes
on
it,
YouTube, I
just
saw
thought
a video.
You made it up.
No, on YouTube, I saw a video like Tatsuro Supernova Taira, like a big. It had like almost 20,000 views on the video. I thought it was like his thing. So that actually wasn't the TB nickname here. Carlos El Duque Hernandez. He's repping his boy Orlando Hernandez. El Duque.
No.
So that one's totally fucked
That's
up.
terrible. I didn't even acknowledge that one.
You're legit dumb because you were so focused on your boy Tatsuro Taira. But listen, Supernova's getting himself a cheeseburger after this fight. He's either
that was the nickname, Tatsuro Cheeseburger Taira.
But it's not his nickname. It's just what he likes eating. That's
isn't his fucking nickname either.
It's at least more relevant.
No, it's not. I disagree.
On a bright, shining trajectory.
Wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. I don't agree.
All right, so Tatsuro Taira minus 550. Carlos Hernandez is objectively tough and a solid fighter. I like Taira to win the fight, and I like him to win by submission or by decision. I don't think you're finishing Hernandez by knockout, but you're going to be able to get his back. You're going to be able to land takedowns, and his submission game isn't so dangerous. Like, I think Shirez's guillotines are probably more dangerous than the submissions that Hernandez will be pulling out. And Denise Bandar is just he's Denise Bandar. So, what do you got, Guru?
Why is the under 1.5 plus 150? Is that true?
All right, here we go. He's named Supernova because that's the name of a famous bowl cut boy band in Japan. So,
really?
Fuck you, Guru number 2.
Well, that's actually really cool then. But that's not his nickname.
But he did his hair to mimic the band, and then his nickname was put like that in a YouTube promo video. That, bro, like, just accept it. Like, like, he's not your boy. You're not buying him a cheeseburger now or anytime soon. So just deal with Supernova because
I
he's taking it
refuse
to
to
another
deal
level.
with Supernova, and I refuse to listen to your slander. You can go suck dick because that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna go take 6 pills of Nugenics after this. Go read your book about eugenics and go suck a dick. That's what you're gonna do.
Jesus, man,
But
Guru off the rails.
what I actually think is that, like I said, and nobody answered, and that's cool, whatever. Why is the under 1.5 plus 150? Tatsuro Taira has, multiple finishes in round 1 and in round 2 before that juncture. And Carlos Hernandez was just subbed a fight previously by Al Nascimento. You got it. Round 1 rear naked choke. Exactly. I knew he made it up. You're a fucking idiot. You're a Japanese. Fuck you. You're so dumb. Yeah, God. Oh my God. Of course he made it up.
It's such a good time. This is amazing.
You believed it.
Making Guru number 2 mad is just my number 1 goal in life. So I succeeded even if I was wrong.
You keep calling me Guru number 2. I'm gonna fucking kill you. This show has been a fucking disaster. I mean, I think I like under 1.5 as a stab. Tatsuro Taira by submission is the play. That's about it. I don't really like Hernandez here. What do you got, Guru?
I think it's a dog or pass, honestly. I mean, I think Tyra's a little overrated, man. Like, I feel like his striking, he's like tall and long for flyweight, but I feel like he's a little bit plotty. We haven't really seen him face a guy that's a good mover. I feel like the guys that he's fought in the UFC were all kind of really low level fighters. Like, so I feel like Carlos Hernandez is gonna have the advantage on the feet. And then I think Tyra's grappling is a little overrated. Like, I do think he has really good back takes, back control, but I don't see him as like a huge submission threat for Hernandez. I think a la Nascimento, he's like a high level black belt. He trains with Shootbox, with Charles Oliveira and those guys. I think he's a lot better grappler than Taira, in my opinion. I mean, we've seen Taira lose position against these guys that aren't even good grapplers. Like CJ Vergara at the end of the first round had him in a arm triangle. We saw Edgar Chairez have him a mounted guillotine at the end of the first round. And I feel like Taira makes mistakes on the ground. He's a purple belt. I think Hernandez can win on the feet. And if it goes to the ground, I think Taira will have the advantage, especially if he can take the back. And that's one of the issues for Hernandez. So that's why the odds are where they're at. But I think Hernandez could win, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I think to your point, if you're telling me he's struggling to get it to the ground and this fight's taking place on the feet, I want no freaking part of it. You're 1,000% right. His striking is, at least as for certain, his striking defense is problematic to say the least. So we haven't seen him tested in that regard at all. Anybody that could keep it standing is going to give him a tough time. So agreed in that respect. But kind of like Shannon Ross, I'm not sure that I can get there. But I don't hate plus 400 dog shots because I don't know. It sounds really cool when you're right on them.
I just want to say the guy screaming about Nugenics and Total T, like I'm the one with the nice thick beard out here. So, so anywho,
that's your culture. That's like your heritage. I've got a nice beard too. Get the fuck out of here. What are you talking about?
I don't know. Not as well.
It's not as dark as yours per se, but you know.
Well, that's these are the arguments I'm making. So, anyways, we've got this is kind of like me and the Guru. We've got Ryan, Amanda, clearly the good child versus Talita Alencar. Clearly the problem child. I put what was on UFC
No, her name
stats.
is Rihanna Dos Santos.
Her name is Rihanna Amanda.
Her name is Rihanna Dos Santos.
Go to UFC stats.
Her middle name, I don't fuck UFC stats. They don't know everything.
Yeah, I mean, listen, TB just got Jin Curtis out. I guess it happens to everybody.
Bro, her name is literally Rihanna Dos Santos. She's doing
her best.
She's doing her best.
So why does the UFC? Why is the UFC?
Because on Dana White. Because I mean, maybe she got married or something in the interim. But like, I'm not trying to be like that. But you know what I'm saying? When you're from Brazil, when you're Spanish, like you got mad names. It's kind of part of the culture. So
Okay,
I'm sure
like, why
Amanda's
are
there
you
somewhere,
not
but it's not.
accepting what the
Well,
what the
because you put the
UFC
wrong
is
one, so
saying?
you're wrong, and I'm busting your chops. Why are you not accepting that you're wrong?
I didn't put the wrong one, though. I did it based
You
off of the
did.
UFC stats
Okay,
fight
this is
listing.
her IG, and where does it say Amanda?
Go
You're
to
wrong. I
UFCstats.com
don't
right now.
care. It's not her name.
That's her name on UFCstats.com.
Great. This is
So,
not UFCstats.com.
right. So when they announce her, when they announce her for the fight,
if you
when
can
she
make
walks
up
out as Ryan
nicknames,
Amanda, you're a piece of shit.
if you can make up nicknames, you might as well put their names properly.
No, because I'm listing.
No,
It's always.
I just do whatever I want.
No, I put what UFC stats puts there as official name. That's what makes it here.
But
So
you
Talita
make up
Alamkar is the
nicknames that are
problem
not
child.
official. Why couldn't you
I
just
make
put
up
her
nicknames.
name?
I could have made her nickname Dos Santos. That would have been funny.
No, whatever.
Because
You
it's
could have
not
just
listed on
included her
UFC.
fucking full name. You didn't have to cut off her name. Neither does UFC stats. They're fucked up too. They're wrong.
But they did it
But
for a reason
what?
because
They're
she told them
wrong.
to.
They're
She
wrong.
told them to.
They're wrong.
So
No, they didn't. They told her. Are you making that up? What are you talking about?
When you watch the fight on Saturday, see how they announce her walking out.
I promise it won't be that. They're gonna fix it.
Anywho, Ryan Amanda is gonna go ahead and probably win this fight.
No, because she's not competing. Rayana Dos Santos is gonna win this fight.
Shit, am I the one that's got to settle this argument right here? Amanda versus Dos Santos?
Please.
I would appreciate it.
Well, I'll say, how about we just do Ryan England?
There you go.
There we go.
Because
So
she's
we're both
married.
wrong.
She married to that fighter that was on Dana White Contender Series. You remember
Yeah,
that guy?
Colin Anglin?
No,
Not
England.
Colin. Colt Anglin. Colt
Yes,
something. I don't know. Like, but
yeah,
Colin
England. England
Oh,
with an E, not Anglin. God damn.
Nah, but yeah, I mean, I feel like Amanda's gonna win this fight. Like the odds are getting bigger, and Alamkar, like she has good jiu-jitsu. She could win in the first round, but that's about it, I think.
Yeah, his name is Colton.
Yeah, he lost on the Contender Series. He got like KO'd by that Mexican dude.
I forgot, but I do remember him being on the Dana White Contender Series.
Yeah,
but I don't remember.
Rayon Amanda.
Exactly. Yeah, great. That's on UFC stats, bro. They're wrong. Oh, bro, look at Tapology. We can all pull things up. Like, what?
Yeah, but Tapology is always wrong about height and reach
Not,
and name.
no, they're not.
I'm just gonna leave it like this the rest of the time.
You're wrong. Just eat it. Just say I'm TB. I love eugenics and nugenics, and I was wrong.
All I'll say is the person that has the issue generally casts the stone.
What?
Those who smelt it dealt it.
And those who did the rhyme did the crime.
You have projection issues, is basically what I'm saying. You probably have the 0 to low T issue. And you're just trying to take it out.
I doubt that very highly.
All right. So, anyways.
Oh, here we go. Thank you. Mushroom settles it. Rivers Casino says Rayana Dos Santos. I got 2 words for you. Boom.
All right. So, very clearly, we've had quite the show. Do we even need an official breakdown on this fight?
Oh, did we not break it down yet?
I don't think so.
Guru number 1, can you kick it off for us for the last time, bub?
Yeah, can you say?
What do you give us something professional on this? Well, since someone here has to be.
Honestly, I just think Rayon Dos Santos or Rayon Dos Santos. Whoever. I think they're gonna get the win because cardio wise, I think they'll probably be able to outlast Alamkar. If Alamkar takes her down in the first round, she'll submit her, but that's kind of her path to victory to me. And I think Amanda is live for a KO too, or a finish in like the third round.
I like Rayon Amanda's just overall. Yeah, because I'm just looking at it. Whatever. I like her. Doesn't matter. I like her overall game.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't. It's just funny to argue with you. I like her overall game. She beat a well-rounded competitor in Jillian DeCourcy in her last outing. She's rattled off 3 wins since losing to Denise Gomes on Dana White Contender Series. Gomes obviously is a fairly decent talent for the division. So you can't really take too much from Rayanne. And I think that she actually does a really good job feinting the level changes and stuff like that. So I actually like Rayanne to get it done. I don't really think that Talita is going to be able to keep that pace going at all, really. I mean, when she go 5 for 24 on takedowns on Dana White Contender Series, and I think what was maybe the first ever draw on Dana White Contender Series. Terrible, terrible fight. So basically, they were like, "Who can we get on short notice in the Apex on a week? How about 2 people that lost recently and would love a contract?"
Okay. Can I bring up one point about this fight that's actually kind of important? So Alan
You
Carr wins round 1 and 2 extremely easily versus Stephanie Luciano. Round 3 comes around and she's gassed beyond all belief. Now, when you take a look at this matchup, Toledo Alan Carr is only going to be 1 inch shorter with 1 inch reach discrepancy going towards the other direction. But Toledo Alan Carr's last opponent in Stephanie Luciano was 5 inches taller with a 5-inch reach advantage. And she was just absolutely impossible to just hold down without using ridiculous amounts of energy. I mean, does Alan Carr not have like legit takedowns and control and submission game, or am I wrong about that?
I think she definitely has legit jiu-jitsu, but it's just in MMA, I think she's got all her wins like pretty quick, right? Like where she's been able to submit.
But I mean, I know she had a draw in Contender Series, but it's because she won the first 2 rounds and survived the third.
She's just really green in MMA, bro. She's got this huge long tapology, but
right.
That's the thing. She has 5 fights and Amanda has 20. So I think that's a big deal too.
That's why she's really green in MMA.
That's definitely a big red flag. I get it. I have no bet or need to bet this fight. I'll find another place for my unit scaling. So quite frankly, this will be one I probably won't even get to watch. So YOLO.
It's because you have unbelievably low T. You're going to be at the Nugenics conference with Frank Thomas himself, so you won't be watching the fights with me. So
actually, Guru is so sad that I won't be making it to Casa de Guru this week, and I've got a very nice holiday party for my company, so it's going to be a good time. And I'll catch the main card at the casino. So want to just say thank you so much, first and foremost, our amazing guest, MMA prediction guru, not only for his great breakdowns, quick thoughts, and ability to make it work with these guys, but he survived the shrapnel, man. He was in the trenches today, and he comes out the other side clean. But no, seriously, it's such a good time. We always like getting into it and making it a little spicy because how do you get a little flavor in your life otherwise? So really appreciate all you guys in the chat. Such an amazing time just breaking down these fights weekly with all you guys, and Mr. Prediction Guru, for the last time before we let Mr. Guru Scouting MMA take away the show for the final time. Any final words, any plugs? We have your YouTube in the description for everyone to follow. What do you got to say, my friend?
No, yeah, man, this was awesome. This was fun. I really like the show. I've been on a lot of shows, and this is definitely, the one that's like the most let it rip. And it's fun to just go on here and just bullshit, especially when it's like you're doing super serious stuff all the time, like on my channel, other people's channels. So it's fun, man. Invite me back. I'll definitely come on. And yeah, man, had fun. And yeah, besides that, obviously, you got my YouTube. If you want to go to patreon.com/MMA Prediction Guru, I break down a lot of regional scene fights, get bets, and I'm a pretty profitable bettor. I'm like in the top 20 in bet MMA tips for non-reckless bettors, over 260 units profit. So I feel like I'm one of the better people giving tips. So if you go to patreon.com/MMA Prediction Guru, I think you'll end up winning some money long term. So it's definitely worth it. And yeah, besides that, man, definitely had a good time on the show.
Really, really appreciate you coming on, man. And honestly, I think your energy and you just kind of being chill in general, like, allowed us to continue to just like laugh our ass off here. So I think we had a really, really good time, and we'll love to have you back. And certainly we'll look for you in 2024. Right? Because we only got one more card left for the whole.
Yeah, I'm going to that, dude. I'm so pumped.
You're
for that,
going?
Man. Yeah, I mean, I live in Vegas, so I go to a lot of these the pay-per-views. But yeah, this one, dude, I'm pumped for. I mean, honestly, I'm like a depressed Tony Ferguson fan. So if he doesn't win this fight, I might kill myself,
Mm.
you know, live at the
Oh my
arena.
God.
So
No, don't do that
there
before
could
the
be
main event.
there could be, you know, a headline, you know, someone kills themselves at UFC
Jesus.
296.
Oh my
But, you know, if
God.
Tony wins, you know, it'll be a great night. So
Let's go.
but yeah, I'm really excited for that card, honestly, to be real. It's gonna be sick. Like,
Well, I guess hopefully Tony wins so then we can actually have you back on the show, because
Yeah,
otherwise
yeah.
you're not going to make it. But either way, it was great having you on. We hope you have a safe and good time at the event. And we had a couple things in the chat maybe to talk about before we left, right? Just want to give respect to everybody in the chat for tuning in. Hopefully you all have given a like at this point. James asked us if we liked Impractical Jokers, mainly Joe Gatto. Impractical Jokers is pretty funny. Sometimes it gets me, sometimes it doesn't. I don't like the stageness of it, but Joe Gatto leaving the show is definitely kind of a bummer for me. He's doing a show right now. Thanks, Lou, for stopping by to say hello. We'll go stop by and say hello as well. You Pearl Harbored Mushroom. I mean, that's the right thing to do. I mean, that's the smart thing to do. I would always recommend doing that to Mushroom. That's pretty much where I leave it now. Seriously, Guru number one, it was a pleasure having you on, and we'll definitely be looking to have you on again in the near future. Guys, thanks so much for listening and hanging out with us. We really, really appreciate it. 500 subscribers. We're making our moves out here in the world. I'm going to try to give a new closing here. So please make sure to follow my unbelievable co-host, TB Scouting MMA, on X, Verdict, Instagram, Picket, and Tapology, and Bet MMA. That doesn't flow as well as the old one. We'll figure it out. And you can follow me, Guru Scouting MMA, X, Instagram, Picket, Verdict, Tapology, Bet MMA. You know, wherever you want me, you can find me, Guru Scouting MMA, and hopefully you can DM me now. I think those are open. So take care, guys. Let's make some money. Be safe on this crazy ass card. We only got one more left for the whole year. UFC 296. Leon Edwards taking on Colby Covington. We'll be bringing on lucrative MMA. Close it out. Can't wait. Take care and be safe.
Peace.